So Mix Consulting, I'm Catherine, this is Caitlin, this is Amber, this is Vera. And we're a marketing consulting firm. We work specifically with partner programs. So our business is based in Microsoft. We have about 25 years of Microsoft experience, not even collectively, like contiguously. And we're kind of, I like to say we're kind of like a band, like the drummer swaps out and then occasionally you get a new lead singer, but we've been doing this under different shingles for a lot of years. And so Mix is about 5 years old, and we help enterprise companies with their partner programs. And so the opportunity for us now that we're kind of reaching out into is also helping smaller partners who are building partner programs and stepping into the channel, or helping smaller partners figure out how they work with their enterprise vendors and enterprise partners. So we're stepping out of this kind of comfy place of enterprise partner program support into taking all that we've learned and making it useful for different areas of the market. And that's a lot of learning for us, and it's also really exciting. Sure. Can I tell you one that's really fun right now that we're doing actively? In fact, that I hope it's in my inbox right now, or somebody's going to be in trouble. The client is going to be in trouble. So something we're doing right now for Microsoft device sellers. You guys think is this a good one to share? Okay, I love this one. So we're actively making this thing for them. So Microsoft works with a lot of device partners, right? You've got Lenovo, you've got Intel, you've got Dell, all the people. And specifically, they've been working with chip makers in recent years to create these Copilot PC devices. So now you've got local AI, you can run local models, you can run cloud models, and of course now you can run hybrid solutions, right? Yay, hybrid solutions. And now we learned yesterday or the day before, you also could put a little on-prem in there, because we talked to someone on the expo floor that was doing that. But so Microsoft device sellers used to go in, and the pitch was, don't let your devices age out. You're going to have security concerns. You'll lose productivity. Like, don't wait until it's too late. Have a good device strategy and stay ahead of it. But now device sellers have to sell a totally different thing, which is the vision of AI in the company. So don't buy devices now that are going to keep you from doing something awesome that your competitor is going to do before you. Like, if you've already invested in devices that can't run hybrid AI, then you're going to put yourself out of the solution before it even happens. So start envisioning what these forward-thinking hybrid AI solutions are going to look like now. Buy the right devices, be ready to roll. So device sellers now have to do these envisioning workshops to help them, to learn about your business. Hey, Coca-Cola, what's going on? Where do you have gaps in your business? What kind of solutions could you envision? How are you going to plan for that? But these guys haven't had to do that before. So now you've got this army of device sellers who don't know how to have that conversation. So the team that we were working with went out and made a ton of resources for them, all these sales decks, all this stuff. And it's this massive, super rich resource, and nobody knows how to use it. So they called us up and said, I think we had like 3 weeks to do it. They're like, we've got $100,000 in 3 weeks. Can you make sense of this? Yes. We're like, yes, give us your money. We'll make sense of it. So that's what we've been doing. So we made a huge guide. We made an AI engine that helps them to process. So if they don't have the knowledge to do it, they can actually let Copilot solve some of these problems for them. The Copilot will build their deck and their workshop for them. Then they've got this huge training guide that they can use. They've got a video that gets them excited about it, and just kind of a package. So that's the kind of thing that we do for our partners.
Wow.
Isn't that fun, though?
That's cool.
It's super fun. It was a whole team of people working on personal laptops. Full stop.
Home edition and all that.
Yeah, I mean, generally we gave people enterprise editions of software, but everybody working on personal machines from wherever. We had policies that people had to sign that are like, please don't go to the bathroom in a coffee shop and leave your laptop on the table, but that was the extent of our security. Well, it's walking that line between being a small company and deciding that you're going to be legit, right? Yeah. And so for us, and it's hard to know when to jump. And that's why I was so glad I met Fred when I did, because I didn't think that we were ready to jump
Mhm.
And the truth was, it was the perfect time, because what came up immediately was like, we have to get audited by Microsoft. And that's what happened literally, I think, a week after you guys got up and running. We get the email that's like, all right, your audit has just started. And we're like, you know, yeah. So that inflection point was about, when does it make sense for us to make this investment so that we can say with great confidence to our customers, you are safe with us. We're enterprise grade too. Even though we're small, we do the work of a boutique team, which we're really proud of, but we do it at an enterprise level of security. We couldn't say that before, and now we can. And that's a really unique offering, to say we craft things that are great, and you can trust the way we craft them. Not really.
Just that. Was it Fred?
It was Fred.
It was Fred. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Fred. It was Fred, and also like your team did a lot of work to make something that fit for us. So it was a scary leap, right? Like, we're going to suddenly have this operational expense every month, whether our revenue goes up and down, but that's going to be there. So we didn't really shop it around, because I felt confident. I trusted your guidance, and I could see that the team was working to try to make it fit for us, that it was not, that it wasn't, I didn't feel like we were giving a sales pitch. I felt like we had partners who were solving a problem that we really needed solved, that was not our expertise. Yeah, so the onboarding process, it was smooth. It was weirdly smooth. I was really concerned, because it is hard to get people to do things in ways that are less convenient, right? Like, I've been going along for 5 years. I'm doing my job. It's been easy. I'm on my Mac that I've had for X years, and I do things the way I want, and there's no drag. And so to suddenly be like, you're going to need to use a virtual desktop. You're going to need to, you can't do this thing yourself anymore. You have to call someone to do it.
Welcome to your productivity inhibitor.
Yeah, it can feel that way. So I was really concerned about the team being demoralized and being frustrated, and kind of getting on the other side of the table from the solution, and then I was also just concerned about productivity. Like, what does this mean? Am I paying people to sit on support calls now? What's this going to look like? So I was really nervous about it. But it was surprisingly, I heard no complaints for a long time. Like, it was smooth for a long time. And then as we started to get comfortable, like, wait, this could work better, or I'm having trouble with heavy graphics programs, okay. But then as soon as we would isolate it, Lauren and the team would like hop on and troubleshoot with us and be like, okay, give us a week and we'll come up with some solutions. And they'd say, we could do this or this or this. And like, we heard you. And they were just tracking everything that we would complain about. And there were minor complaints, but I think that's how we refined the solution, was like, oh, this actually hurts a little bit, and this hurts a little bit. And they would be like, here's 5 ways to solve that. And then boom, it's gone. And then here's 5 ways to solve it. And boom, it's gone. But yes.
So this is just a simple little antidote that I mentioned to you guys earlier, that I always feel like I did something wrong and broke everything. So I upgraded my phone, which was really overdue. So I finally got a new phone, and then I was like, I can't access any of my work files. I can't work. Everything's on devices, right? Like, what do I do? I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh no, now I have to call IT, and this is going to take forever. Literally, I think I was dreading the call way more than the actual call itself. Like, I had built it up to be like this really complex, awful thing that I messed up, and it's going to take me forever to get back online and sort it out. And that was the hardest part, was me being like, shut up and make the call already. And it was like, I messaged on Teams, instantly got a response back, and then called in, and then I was like, oh, thank you. Boop, 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 done. Thank you. Yeah. I don't, but I'm sure it's recorded somewhere. I'm sure I can find it. But they were fabulous. She was really wonderful.
Fabulous, really wonderful.
Fabulous, really wonderful.
Fabulous, really wonderful. Okay, we work on, what is the thing that we have that's not the virtual desktop? Because you and I have company-owned machines, and it's a.
I'm assuming Intune controlled machines.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. I don't even know what it's called, because I don't have to do anything with it. Like we did the one call where it was the one thing that was like, click on this, sign into this, push that button, you're good. And I haven't had to do anything else. Like, honestly, that was it. I just work now. And I had the same trepidation that you did in the beginning when we started talking about virtual desktops and security measures, et cetera. I was like, no, but I have everything just the way I want it on my machine, you
Mhm.
know? But it was so easy. You guys made it so easy for us to switch and everything, um, set up from my various browsers, everything ported over. It was all transferred. Everything was exactly where I left it. Yep.
Removing that fear of, oh no, what if we're not secure enough and something important
Right.
leaks out?
Mhm.
We're
Right.
gonna lose Microsoft and Intuit and like all of these major clients.
Have one very specific issue with Microsoft, where numerous people on our team had the snake eating its own tail, the two-factor authentication
Mhm.
error
So bad.
that
So
would stress us out so much. And I remember everybody on our team has gone through this. So basically, it's an issue on the Microsoft end where you need authentication, but then you're blocked from getting authentication.
Because you
And
don't
we
have
used to have to take that issue to Catherine,
Mhm.
who would not know what to do because she could not solve it. The admin could not solve it. None of the admins could solve it. And it would just be the kind of thing where we'd be out of commission for 36 hours. And we would contact everybody on the Microsoft side. We used to go to clients and have our clients try to support us out of this. It was a horrible glitch in the system.
Mhm.
And since we got you guys, I have not had that error, but I had a colleague who had that error,
Mhm.
and you guys resolved it in under an hour.
Oh, very nice.
So that's what I got.
That's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
That was the most beautiful, and it was just the bane of my existence when we.
It's funny how those little things can really like build up, especially if like you had something important to do during
Yeah.
that 36 hours.
Truly,
Yeah.
and we would just be gone for so long, and
Mhm.
it'd be so frustrating. We would feel incompetent, like we couldn't get through this thing, but we were writing for Microsoft. Why can't we get bypass the two-factor?
Mhm.
And you guys just resolve it so easily. So, thank you.
How did he perform?
Yeah, I would love to. So this is such a big deal for us because Microsoft is such a huge part of our business. It's fundamental. If we don't have a good relationship with them, our business is under threat. So they have a program called SSPA, which is let's see if we can figure out what it stands for. It's a Secure Supplier Program Protocol. Anyway,
Mhm.
it means
SSPA.
SSPA. It means you're a vendor who is trusted with data, and then you have different layers of data. We always using all Microsoft technologies. I mean, we're doing what we could, but so we needed to get through. There's a green check mark that comes up on your profile, and you need it to turn green. And they had not asked us to do it, and I had been looking into it because I knew it was a thing. How do we get that? How do we get that? And then one day they're like, "You need to get that." Okay, that's how we get it. They give you 3 months to do it. And so we panic a little bit and we reach out to your team and we're like, I think we have all these, probably now we have all these things covered. But it is such dense documentation to figure out what does it look like to have all these things covered? Are we in compliance? And Dan, bless his heart, just went in and like, I think he spent a lot of hours on it. That's what the grapevine told me, was that he had spent quite a lot of hours figuring it out. And Lauren was really helpful too. I think it was a team effort, and they just came in and gave us some great grounding in where we needed to look and what we needed to do. And ultimately, we ended up with a really nice self-attestation of, we can document that this is true. We can document that we're doing this. And it was the last day, and we went to hand it off, and it lit up and it said, "You need a third-party audit." So we're doing that now. But the third-party audit, Leah's working on it, and the third-party audit, we already have it all because your team has done it. So we had a couple pieces. We have to do data training. That's the only thing we have outstanding because, and Lauren pointed us to a data training company. We met with them last week, and it's up and running. We just have to get through our training and get that thing documented, and then we can send everything to the auditor, and we should be golden by the end of May.
Fantastic.
And then we're good for a year, and then we just renew it every year. But the team, tell you what, that is a moment of panic. And to have a team of experts that are like, don't worry, we're on your team, and then to show up with so much competence and genuine enthusiasm for helping us, just makes you feel like we're gonna be fine. And that makes me sleep at night. And that's one of the things we talk about as vendors. One of our values is that, we make a lot of PowerPoint. It doesn't change anybody's life that much. We don't do it because of PowerPoint. We do it to make people sleep better at night. We do it because working in a corporate job is hard. It's hard on a human level. And so if we can be the thing that people trust, that makes their life a little bit easier, that is the meeting they look forward to during the day, if we can do that and competently deliver our stuff, then we have just made the world a slightly better place in the way that we can.
Isn't that what business to business is all about?
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's the way we participate in the world. And so we had that with your team. You stepped in for us in the way that we always try to step in for people. And we felt that. I'm like a little emotional about it. But we really felt that like we've got experts who give a shit about making sure that we are okay and that we succeed at this. And that feels good, man. That feels good.
Yeah. Thank you, Kathy. Tell me about what's next for Mix. What's next for your team? What are you guys going to be doing? You got an incredible show, you said. What did this spur any ideas? What's happening? What are you guys going to be concentrating on?
Let me tell you what. We have been intentionally small for a long time because we like our lives. We like working with each other. We don't want to overcomplicate things. And honestly, what happened is when I got to a place where I thought I would always want to work. And when I got old enough, I was like, I'm tired. I'm not always going to want to work. And that realization was like, there's a window now to do something. And so we kind of got together and said, do you want to see what we can do? Like, do you want to see if we can blow this up and make something meaningful, bigger, and have a good time doing it and help more people and just stretch ourselves? And that's what we're doing now. So we're trying to understand how all the work that we've done over these years, where we can offer it bigger. How can we mentor more people into the team? How can we expand our market reach into places that couldn't afford it before? Because we've worked at this really expensive enterprise level, which is delightful from a margin perspective, but you can't offer it to smaller companies or to smaller partners. And now with AI, we can. And Vera is our director of innovation. She leads all our AI thinking, and we're way ahead of a lot of agencies and how we think about that. It allows us to bring our stuff down market. So now I can bring on a team and I'm not the IT. So, which feels like, you can't ask people to come in and be experts at what they're doing and then have them wrestling, not give them support on simple things like IT. Like that feels disrespectful to me of their time and of their expertise. They need that support. So now we can grow the team. We can grow. We know now we can work with PII. We can do big, rich campaigns for companies we work with, and we don't have to worry about it. Where a year ago we did, I don't know. We're pretty excited about the future.
So we've been an MSP for what, 20 years, 25 years as a poster. I started here in 2006. I was a tier 1, worked my way up from there, VoIP technician, tier 2, manager, whatever, all the way. And basically most of the employees we have here is kind of similar group, right? We started that way. I was telling the story yesterday about how my Honda Element was because the owner of the company, Ben, gave me a car on my first day.
Wow.
I found out later it's because he bought a Porsche and he had to explain why he bought a Porsche. And he had to say, I had to give this employee a car. That was his excuse for buying the Porsche. But whatever, I got a car out of it. So we've just been that way. We started here with the casinos and stuff, and we really started as a reactive customer, right? Something worked yesterday, it's broken today, fix it, please. And that's all we did forever. And then as we grew, we went nationwide and slowly became better at being proactive. And really what your onboarding experience was 25 years of us learning lessons, doing certain things wrong and then fixing them and then doing them better and that type of thing. One of those things was removing hats from people's heads so that they could specialize on the thing they're doing, right? So the reason like Dan Oliver would have the time to do a deep dive for you is because that's his job, right? He's not also trying to put a fire out. He's not also trying to fix a printer. He's not also trying to, do other things. So one of the realizations we had as we grew as a company was team-based approach to support. So we call it growing big while thinking small. And so we took our entire service department and basically broke it up into teams. Some of those teams are specialized, but then there's also our service delivery teams, one of which Lauren runs, that take a percentage of our customer base, right? And so Lauren's team has about 20% of our customer base. And because of that, we can have her team focus on that customer base and really know who they are. That's the reason why when you call us, you get a person.
I don't actually have to.
Yeah, but you get a person who knows who
Yeah.
you are, right? And
Yeah.
knows what you do and knows what you work with and knows those systems. And if I ask one of them, they'd know the name of whatever platform you're on, for example. And really that came about from us saying, hey, our customers are giving us feedback that it's like calling Cox, right? Where you spend the first 10 minutes jumping through hoops and explaining who you are and having them look up stuff about you and things. And that just wasn't going to fly. So a number of years ago, we switched to that team-based approach. And then we started saying, okay, what in the team-based approach is killing the team-based approach? So one of those things was projects and onboardings. We used to have the teams do those. And what that meant was they weren't fixing your problem or answering your call. They were onboarding somebody else. So now, dedicated people do that. Or they were dealing with your security incident, which when a security incident occurs, somebody has to jump right now, right? So you can't be also fixing a printer or helping somebody with their MFA. So, there's a team for that, or a team for centralized services doing your patching and deciding what the right cadence is for you to be safe and that type of thing. Or the data team, making sure your data is being tagged in Purview properly and, that you're safe. And if you accidentally overshare something with too much PII and it'll lock it back down for you, those types of things. So really what we did was we said, okay, we've got a team-based approach. Now this is much better. Our CSAT scores went through the roof. Everybody loved it. Hey, 95% of the time I call in and I get somebody who knows who I am. They don't ask me a bunch of questions every time and I get the right support that I'm looking for. And then when these specialized things happen behind the scenes that you really don't even see, that team gets the support they need to be able to, do their piece. So the onboarding team, this Lauren and Dan, I'm assuming from day one, or, you guys saw them, right? Even though they're going to be your ongoing support sort of points of contact and points of escalation, they're there on day one with the onboarding team because they're in the driver's seat. Everything that onboarding team was doing, they had to say, yes, this is the right thing for Mix and for our customer, because we're going to take Mix long term once this onboarding is complete. And with a lot of our customers, we find that you don't know what you don't know, right? You've been working on home computers with home devices. You don't know what the impact of coming to us is going to be. So their job is to explain that to you and then to make sure they're telling your users about things that are going to happen before they happen so that you're not getting a bunch of angry phone calls and that type of stuff. So literally everything that Eric kind of prompted me to talk about is, us doing it the wrong way for a while and then thinking up a better way and then trying it out and iterating and improving and iterating and improving. And where we are today is we now have a couple of places that are purely focused on proactive. So Dan is one of them. Dan's superpower, though, is enabled by technical assessments that are happening on the back end. So we have a group of technical alignment specialists. Their job is to audit all of our customer accounts monthly to basically say, we call it the car inspection. Instead of a 120-point inspection, you get about an 1,800-point inspection.
Woof.
And it's, we check and make sure all your users have MFA. We check and make sure all your devices are encrypted. We check and make sure that you have tracking on what you need to. We check and make sure your tags are proper, the whole thing. And we also look for opportunities. So those folks don't just say, hey, are all the checkboxes checked? They also say, hey, is there anywhere that's standing out to me as being like an area of inefficiency with the customer or something that maybe we want to bring it up to them? And then our effortless strategic advisors, one of which is Dan, their job is to take that data and turn it into something that's actually valuable to our customers. So we call our ESAs our customer fiduciaries. They are not incentivized to sell you anything. They are not incentivized to get you to sign a quote. They are incentivized to help you grow your business and take advantage of technology by having you trust them. So their job is to know your business. They take those technical alignment assessments and they basically distill those down into, hey, let's build a roadmap together. What's important to you? What opportunities do we see that can work for you? What can we do together? And let's, make sure that we're ahead of it for you, bringing things to you instead of you going, hey, there's got to be a better way for this, right? They get there first, hopefully, in most cases. And what that allows us to do is be actually strategic with our customers. So all of that helps us be proactive, not just reactive. It helps our customers say, okay, you guys are on top of it. Now I don't have to be on top of it. And then what we're doing with AI, which is what Eric was talking about, is we are endeavoring to become a managed intelligence partner for our customers, which means we are basically taking that knowledge that we already have. We're bringing business specialists in as well to have conversations that are easy to have with customers so that they can say, hey, we can identify the places where maybe automation and maybe AI can help a customer out. And then we're able to put that on that same roadmap. So through a few conversations, we can collect enough information that we can put that. We have a canvas that we put it into that helps us say, hey, here's areas where we see, just like we were helping with technology and saying, hey, maybe stop buying those types of printers and buy this one, because across our customer base, we get 1/10 of the tickets for them. Or, hey, did you know you could be doing this thing with SharePoint that you're trying to do with Excel spreadsheets, or, whatever. Or, hey, did you know that your office data isn't backed up and you should really, we should back that up for you, those types of things. We're able to take the same information and say, hey, we've identified these areas of automation and where AI could potentially help you. And through our analysis, we can give you an idea of what your ROI would be for these, and we can give you an idea of the lift it would take to implement them, so that we can make a partnered decision on if any of these things make sense for you and when they make sense budgetarily for you in the future. We're finding a lot of traction initially with like law firms and that type of stuff, but across our customer base. We had a customer literally in their quarterly business review, which we're already holding with them. They basically just started complaining because one of their employees sent a notification and it didn't match their branding. And they basically just lamented that their notifications are all over the place. Everybody builds them themselves, and they have to send a bunch of email notifications out because every time they're doing anything, they have to warn everybody. So we basically in a week built them a notification builder. And yeah, it was jive coded, and who cares, right? Because AI is that good at doing that. And we created the thing, handed it over to them, and now all of their notifications, and they're like, dude, you saved hundreds of hours a week on just helping us build this tiny little tool that we never even would have thought AI was capable of doing. And then as soon as we do that for a customer, they start going, oh, can it tie into this system? And can it automatically figure out which people to send to? And can it automatically do this? And the answer is yes. And so what we're finding with it is we give them that little bit of like, hey, this is what's possible. And then that's really what unlocks them. And then we're able to help them from there kind of further the journey. And because we're already helping them secure all the systems and their data anyway, we're able to do it in a way that keeps that data secure, right? One of the first things we find with anybody is like they've given Copilot or Claude or whatever access to all their files, and they're not doing anything with Purview, and they haven't tagged anything, and they're not safeguarding any of it. And if somebody really wanted to, they could look up the CEO's salary and probably get it because it's got access to it. So we help them secure all of that stuff as we're doing it. And then if it breaks something down the line, which when you're starting to do this stuff, it does, you were going to call us to fix that thing it broke anyway. So we help you implement it, and then we help you fix whatever it breaks down the line. And then we help you as your users finally start using it and the light bulbs go off and they start asking, can it also do this and that and this? So we're endeavoring down that. It's a new thing for us, but it's been really cool. We've done some pretty cool things with it so far. And yeah, our employees love it. Our customers that we've done it with are loving it. And it's becoming part of our ongoing thing. But yeah, that's basically it.
Thanks.
So